I wouldn't say it's negative, Rita. Yeah, tell me if you can relate to this. I don't know if it's negativity or if it's just looking at the reality of your existence as a sports fan, and depending on what market you live in. Now, let's say you're a Jets fan, for example. Let's say you're a Jets fan, and let's say you're about 35 years old. So if you're a 35-year-old Jets fan, let's see if my math is all right. That means you were born somewhere in the 80s, what, 1988? Right?
Nah,
is that right?
Yeah, somewhere right. Yeah, so yes, about 87, 88. You're right.
All right. So you're born in 1988. You've never seen your team in the Super Bowl. Your highlight came when you saw your team make back-to-back conference championship games.
Yep.
They lost both of them. Of course, they lost both of them. You got the butt fumble as part of your existence. You saw that. That was hilarious. You have missed the playoffs for a dozen years. So you haven't made the playoffs since you were in your 20s, your team. And then Aaron Rodgers, you get Aaron Rodgers. That took forever too. Aaron Rodgers said he wanted to play for your team, and it took 5 years for that trade to happen. It seemed like it.
Aaron Rodgers has also been in the league for over, this is like his 17th, 18th year, by the way. It's not like prime Aaron.
Yeah, right. You got Aaron Rodgers late. And then when he comes out there, he's got an injury in OTAs.
First day.
Like, I'm telling you, you tell me, Jets fan, what was your first, I want to know what your first thought was. Hey, this is going to be fine, or like, here we go again. What kind of Jets fan are you? All right, and I wouldn't even call it negativity. It's just like, of course this happens to us. We get Aaron Rodgers late in his career, old man comes out, and in OTAs, they're in short. Look at he's wearing. He's in shorts and shells. It's not even real football. And he's hurt in May.
In May. I mean, better than September, right? I mean, you said it like, he got 4 months to recover. He should be okay. But the irony of him like not going to OTAs in Green Bay for the last few years and then saying, okay, new team, I'm a new culture. I don't want to say new system because Nathaniel Hackett is his offensive coordinator. He clearly knows the system. But I want to get acclimated with my teammates. So I'm going to, be involved. And then all of a sudden you get injured is the irony is just crazy. And I know a few Jets fans, it does for them feels like, just another thing that we go through, another mishap that we've gone through. This is the story of my life as a Jets fan. Clearly, I don't know any Jets fan that was around when they won the Super Bowl. So there's that. And so they essentially know.
And by the way,
that wasn't even the Super Bowl. Because look, you forgot that.
It was a different.
And it was a different. Look, years.
Like I'm gonna make a distinction. We got to break it down.
Okay.
Rita, we have to break it down. If the Super Bowl was played at 2 p.m. Eastern or Central Time, that's a different era, okay? When the Super Bowl was played like in the afternoon, you know what I mean? When the halftime show was like a marching band, they like the local high school, and here comes the big finish. You're dude right. On the drum, boom, 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 boom.
Very true.
Marching band, here we go. They go in a circle. It's not even choreographed. They didn't rehearse it. People are like kind of paying attention to the halftime show when the thing. If your team played in the Super Bowl in that era, it doesn't really count.
You're right.
I'm gonna say Super Bowl III. They weren't even sure they wanted to call it the Super Bowl then. They're like, oh, should we call it the Super Bowl or the championship match between the American Football League and the National Football League? Come on.
That's fair.
So
but look, they might have been around for Vinny Testaverde. They might have been around for Chad Pennington. So they've seen some good things happen, but clearly not enough good things happen. But to them, this is just another notch under the belt. And I have some Jets friends that didn't even want Aaron Rodgers, quite frankly. They are just like, nothing good is going to come from this. And ironically, Holley, Zach Wilson came in, obviously, for Aaron Rodgers and had a very good OTA. I don't know. Now take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how anybody is going to feel about about that. But we know what happened with
great.
the Zach Wilson stuff last
I love
year,
it.
right?
Now he figures it out.
Exactly.
He's figured it out now. Zach Wilson, wouldn't that be something? Zach Wilson has a masterful OTAs and training camp, making every throw. He outperforms Aaron Rodgers, but now they're stuck. Now you got to play Aaron Rodgers, even though Zach Wilson has figured it out. Now you figure it out after we trade we trade for this guy and his big contract and all this stuff. Now, Gary and Natalie, if you could, you bring those odds back up one more time. I want to ask Rita about this. Those odds, those championship odds are very interesting to me. And you see the Jets on the list. They're fourth in the AFC after the big three. We all agree these are the big three: Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati. No argument there. The Jets at 4 above the Ravens. And I know you know the entire NFL, but you're based in Baltimore. So tell me, honestly, do you think that the Jets look better on paper than the Baltimore Ravens?
No. Listen, I understand why they think that, but I understand Aaron Rodgers. I get it. I understand Sauce Gardner. I get it. I understand that there's some guys that there's some familiarity for. But outside of Lamar Jackson, we're just going to act like Mark Andrews is in a world-class tight end, top 2 tight end in this league. We're going to act like Roquan Smith isn't one of the best linebackers right now in this league. We're going to act like Marlon Humphrey didn't allow any touchdowns on his side of the ball last year. We're going to act like the Ravens don't have one of the best offensive lines and run the ball extremely well. So there's going to be more balance there. It's very interesting to see that they're catapulted the Ravens. Not only just that, are they even better than the Miami Dolphins? Holley. I mean, seriously,
right.
They got some of the fastest dudes, and they made some moves too this offseason. I know that Tua is the biggest question mark there due to his health, but if Tua is healthy, do we really think that the Jets are better than the Miami Dolphins? And this is a legit question here because I don't.
Yeah. I mean, look. There's some needle threading that happens with great teams that we're just kind of leaving out. I feel, and that's really been my problem with the Aaron Rodgers Jets story. They had a great defense last year. The Jets did great defense. Now, if they just had a good quarterback, hell, they would have challenged the Bills, and they beat the Bills last year with Zach Wilson. So now you put in Aaron Rodgers, instead of losing 10 games, they'll win 12. And there's just so much more that goes into it, as you pointed out. I mean, it's not just like with the Ravens, the quarterback that they have, if they can keep him healthy, and the offensive line that they have, and the defense that they have. How about the coaching staff? How about the operation? And the Ravens haven't been themselves. They haven't won a championship in 10 years. But they're a team that is they are a championship organization. I think we all agree with that. They're a team that's their aspiration. They get used to it. They don't brag about losing in the conference championship game as the good old days. Good old days is when they actually won the Super Bowl. And so I wonder if the Jets might be setting themselves up. And I'm not just saying this because, I live in Boston, and Boston and New York, there's always a little friction. I love New York. I do. I really do. But I think that I would bet against the Jets. I would take any kind of odds. I would bet against them because it's a lot to come from 7-10 all the way to conference championship contender. Even if you got Aaron Rodgers, that is a long way to go from the bottom of your division to conference championship contender when your competition didn't get old. Patrick Mahomes he's in his prime.
Yep.
Joe Burrow's still in his prime. But Josh Allen's still in his prime. And as you pointed out, Miami looks pretty good too.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
Look. We don't even know if Aaron Rodgers, is going to be able to stay healthy. We have no idea. Aaron Rodgers, yes, he is a phenomenal quarterback. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. We're all aware of that, right? But we don't know how this is going to work. Again, the AFC East is not just something that you can just say, oh, okay, they might be the third best team in the AFC East. They literally could be competing for second or third in the AFC East.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why we're catapulting. I mean, I am sure. I understand why I get the logic. I'm saying that it's a flawed logic because Aaron Rodgers is not a year younger. He's getting a year older. And we just really don't know how this is all going to pan out. In addition to the fact that there's younger quarterbacks in the same division with just as much talent, if not better talent than what the Jets have right now. So, I mean, look, I get it. It sounds cute. But like you said,
right.
Mahomes got to be thrown off this story. Look, good luck to you, Aaron Rodgers. You are in a plethora of quarterbacks in this conference. You should have stayed in the NFC where it would have been a much easier path to get to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
But yet you wanted to make it hard for yourself and come to the AFC that's already clearly full of good quarterbacks over here.
Well, let me say this, and Gary and Natalie, if you could do me a favor and bring up that Aaron Rodgers, that one picture where you had the pre-practice injury. They said something like that, Aaron Rodgers, the description of the injury. And as you pull that up, I'll say, what I really love about a job, any job, Rita, it's a job that you can learn on the job every day. I learn on this job every day. Listening to you, listening to Mike, whoever I'm working with on a particular day, I learn from them every day. I love that. And I love a job where you can laugh. What's a pre-practice? There it is. Tweet Cav.
He was stretching. Now, come on now. Listen, this is where I'm going to be in his favor, though, because as a person who is
Come on now.
You know, sometimes you got to stretch before the stretch, okay? Now, you know Aaron Rodgers is at the age, he got to pre-stretch before the real stretch.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, there it is.
You know how this goes. You gotta put the stretch in before you put the real stretch in, right? So he
Hold on, y'all. I'm almost ready.
Wasn't ready yet.
I'm almost ready.
Hey man, somebody gotta tell Aaron. Aaron gotta call Tom Brady or something because I know there's a regimen for people his age and that still plays football that he can still stay in shape. He can't just do these things like he used to. He gotta do some pre work now.
It's May. It's May. You in shorts. It's May.
Get some man some stretches, exercise.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.